Hey everyone, it's me, Mr. J.
And me, I'm Tricky Rick.
Welcome to the Living Life Between the Lines podcast, where we explore the ups and downs, ins and outs, and the many wild, beautiful journeys throughout the bisexual swinger lifestyle. In today's episode, we are absolutely thrilled to dive into this story of the week and our first couple. And today, the guests are two amazing people who bring not only amazing vibes, but they are some of the most down-to-earth people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting.
Absolutely.
Please welcome to the show, all the way from the Portsmouth, New Hampshire area, Kyle and Vicki.
Yeah, welcome. Glad you guys can make it all the way down here to Florida with us.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. This is going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. This is our first couple we got
It
here,
is our
too.
first couple. I'm
We've had
so
individual,
excited.
this is great.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to explore their journey and especially their bi journey as a couple and how they found the lifestyle and what it's been like navigating swinging, friendships, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Before we jump into it, make sure you smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content. Head over to bievents.com, that's bi-events.com, to sign up for a profile and get the 411 on all bi events news. So with all that being said, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. All right. So thank you so much for coming out to the show.
Absolutely. I'm traveling, yeah.
Yeah.
We're a travel couple.
Yeah, you guys come all the way from New Hampshire.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's so awesome. And being a fellow New Englander transplant.
Yeah. So often we talk to people that know where we're from.
Yeah, and when we first met, I just had an instant connection with y'all because of my roots and y'all being from the area. Yeah. So, but so Kyle and Vicki, let's go back to the beginning. So where does your story as a couple start, and how did you guys first meet?
Well, we met young. She was married, so she had a marriage before me.
I was separated at the
she
time.
had 3 children, but she changed jobs, started working she was a manager at McDonald's where I worked. That's actually where we met, and
we became best friends.
Yeah, best friends very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
He just supported me through a very difficult time when I didn't have a lot of support. And we just became best friends, and it kind of worked from there.
Yep, developed from there, and we got married 2 years later.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
and
Yeah.
we've been together 35 years now.
At a nursing home.
That's
We
great.
got
Yes,
married
she-
at a nursing home.
Did you really?
No
Now,
way.
what prompted that? That's
Because I
exciting.
worked there,
Oh, I got you.
and I
You
wanted.
got the hall cheap, right?
Well, I wanted my.
She wanted her patients.
I wanted my residents to be able to
that's cool.
experience.
She knew so many of them.
Yeah, and I wanted
And
them to be able to experience something.
They all
'cause-
knew she was getting married.
And
it's
they
like,
never
we
get to do
didn't have
anything.
a
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
So like they
It
all had.
adds it breaks it up for the
Yeah. So they all had hair appointments at the salon,
Yeah.
And the
all got
chapels
dressed
at
up.
nursing homes and hospitals are very cool looking. You know, so it's
That
a
is
great
neat,
place.
yes,
So it was like,
absolutely.
So we got
she
married at
mentioned
like
it like,
3
why not?
o'clock in the afternoon, so that they could have.
So they could take their siesta and
so
get to
they could-
bed. And
exactly.
then, that's
so they
fun.
could have their dinner and.
Yeah.
and
So you guys can go out later on.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you always lived up there in New Hampshire in that northern area? Okay,
you
great.
were in New York for
I was in
a
New York
while
for
in
about
your
10 years
teens, right.
in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I've been like 4 towns. They all touch.
Wow.
I'm a townie.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that thing up there.
Yep.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. Yep.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
I give directions by where that tree used to be or where
Yeah,
so and so
yeah.
lived, but they haven't lived there for 30 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so when did you first realize that you were bisexual, or was that something that you knew deep down, or did it unfold over time? And once you recognized it, how did you guys start exploring that?
It's really interesting.
For us, it happened. We're probably more your typical swinger couple. We were married, got into the lifestyle years later.
So how did
for
you?
me, the
so
bi.
How did that start?
yeah. So how did that start?
That's probably
Who
an
picked
easier.
that up?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
who-
an easier one first. We were talking about it on the way here. We did one of the. I mean, for us, you're talking about this is going back into the late '90s.
How did it work back then?
Oh, so different.
You had to find a book.
Pre
Was that the book?
lifestyle.
Ma-
the
yeah.
little
I
mean,
books. You
The,
had to get
the,
books.
the,
But even
magazines.
Pre that,
Magazines, yeah.
we actually had
No
one
internet.
of those. We had one of those experiences that happened with friends.
Yes.
It was not talked about between. We didn't even talk about it. They didn't talk about it. It was like literally we were. It was a
Naked
super,
in the pool, and
No,
before
it
you
was a
know
Super
it,
Bowl
naked in
thing,
a
which
bed.
actually turned into us having sex with each other, and then then that's all it was. And again, not really ever talked about. And then the next time together, a little more happened. And basically, it was, 2 or 3 times, I think, at all. And
It was mostly me and her at the moment.
Right. And
that's my first time with really dabbling in bisexuality.
Right. And it did ultimately end that friendship. It did not go well. It did not in a necessarily bad way, but it was because we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it. They didn't talk about it. We weren't swinging. This just happened. And
we didn't even understand what the heck we were doing.
We kind of both left it with she had this impression. We talked about this years later. She left it with the impression that she felt the guilt of, because I was a little bit more hesitant about that, which is weird being the guy. I know everyone says it's the other way around, but where was I? But anyway, so she took it more as that I might have resented her for that was the cause of the breakup of the friendship, where you took it, I kind of thought it was more that she was jealous of me. And so we both had these wrong impressions of what the other one thought, and we didn't talk about it. We just didn't talk about it. So
we got really distant in our marriage.
And it actually became
very distant.
Well, because she thought anytime I talked about friends that's me being, that's a dig at her, or she's trying, or I felt like she's being jealous when she wasn't being jealous. So it was years. I mean, because that would have been in
years
the late 90s, and it was 04. 04 was when we got into it.
Actually, I actually left for a couple days to get apart because we had to figure out what was happening between us, because we loved each other, but what was happening.
And it was a few days where we kind of got together and talking.
And then we started dating, and
this conversation came up that we realized we both took 2 completely different things away from that event, and were ultimately blaming each other for something that neither of us had a problem with.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the experience.
So as soon as we had that, wait a minute, you didn't feel that, and I didn't feel that way, and so
well,
what's
screw
the
that.
problem?
Let's get going.
There's
and from
no
that
problem
moment on,
anymore.
Full steam ahead.
And now, obviously, I say that, but then it became you
had to navigate.
I'm a very analytical, probably OCD type. I mean, things work in my mind a certain way. And so I was much more the talker. I wanted to talk everything out. It's all good on paper, but you eventually got to do it. And
so I have a question. Were you, at that time, just a heterosexual couple? Were you doing any bicycle play?
No,
you were just female every once in a while?
No, not even that. That was that one time. Well, 2 or 3 times, but still that one thing, and nothing ever happened.
Yep,
so
we
we're
were
just
a
back to a
monogamous
married couple.
couple.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
And it was that conversation
And that went on for like 5 years, maybe
it
3
would have
or 4,
been
5
5
years?
or 6
5 or 6 years.
from that first experience. And like I say, that experience was wrong. It wasn't, you need to talk about this stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Communication's
absolutely.
it. And it just happened, and it was the wrong way to go about it, but it happened.
I feel like most couples in the lifestyle,
have
that's
something
kind
like
of
that.
how
Right,
it
have
starts.
something like that, right.
Something like that. The
So
ones that really take the time to talk about it and build from there, definitely a completely different
We
experience.
can't even really call it as a second go-around, because the first one kind of shouldn't have happened. It wasn't the lifestyle.
It was a false start.
It was a false start,
So
yeah.
the second time, now it was the proper start, and that we're talking about the lifestyle thing. Okay, what are you okay with? What are we okay with? We did the very strict thing of we wanted to start with the low rules.
Yeah.
The rules are down here. These are what they are, and we can do that. And if after the fact everything's cool, well, then maybe the rules move or whatever. So we knew what we wanted to do.
We had clear-cut things going into it.
We picked a local party, which back then you mentioned it. We were post magazines. We remember the magazines.
No, we had magazines.
We had some, but
We
we didn't use
use
them.
them.
We never mailed.
white books.
We never got a post office box. We never mailed people.
Yeah,
We didn't do that.
right, yes.
We did get SLS was our first one, and actually our profile that on SLS, if you look at the start date, is 04. That is literally the first place we signed up. We found, well, I say local party, but it was an hour and 10 minutes away, house party. And we went there. We did, now to bring up the bi thing, she had always had an interest in men together. Like if we were watching porn, that's
my porn.
That's her go-to porn.
And did she express that with you?
She had been honest with me
Always.
about that. And she was cool with it. It's just not my thing.
And I was always
it
fine
wasn't
with
my
that.
thing.
But he was fine with it as long as a female was involved, which I was fine with.
And we did at that party we went to. We went to the first party, and then their party after that happened to be a bi event. And they actually stopped doing them. But she's like, would you go? And I'm like, I'll go. I mean, it's not my thing, but again, I don't mind going. And we went, and there was a minor amount of mostly somebody doing something to me, not the other way around.
We call that pillow princess.
Exactly, I know, right, yeah. So, and I just...
It was good to see my pillow princess.
Yeah, your pillow prince, yeah.
And it just, and again, that was like, it was okay. I didn't have a problem with it, but it just wasn't wasn't my thing. And
I
she
never
was fine
pushed
with
it.
that.
Right.
That's
So,
not my thing.
Vicki, when you watched him in this Pillow Princess, how did that make you feel? What did you like about it?
Well, first I had to watch him because I'm not going to enjoy it unless he's enjoying it.
Sure, of course.
So I had to just make sure that he wasn't. I think he closed his eyes, and he's just like, when your eyes are closed, you don't care who's sucking your.
Yeah.
Right. So,
It's like, I don't care who's on the other side
Yeah.
of the glory hole, right?
Yeah,
Whoever's on the glory
exactly.
hole side over there.
It's
is
warm,
fine.
it's wet,
It's,
it feels
and
good.
it feels good, yeah. And he really didn't seem to be like, if he was really stressing out or whatever, I would have removed him from the situation. But he seemed cool, and
it was her first experience to
Yeah,
really
to
dive
really
in with a
dive
girl,
into it,
with
yeah.
a woman as
Yeah.
well.
Oh my God!
That
But that's a
her
whole
first
different.
experience-
That's a whole different.
So
that's
other
another
than the
question,
friend
but yeah.
that we started with, it was not the right situation.
So
at
Kyle,
that first party, it was her first.
In
experience.
that situation, like what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, I knew it was big for her, and I had no problem in the moment. It was not a thing like that. It was more that after the fact, I was like, it's just not something that I would necessarily pursue.
Yeah, so it was.
And again, I mean, I'm 51, so I'm a different generation, and I think that's part of it. I mean, we're a similar age where you grow up in I wasn't in a family that was like, oh my God, that's wrong. I didn't have any gay friends. I mean, but then again, back then, I probably did have gay friends, just didn't know they were gay, because you're talking about the 80s.
Right, gotcha.
And I had a friend whose father was gay, so that was an awareness type thing. So it was not no one I knew was anti.
Being from that area,
But
most
it wasn't
people are pretty open-minded.
Right, but it wasn't
Yeah.
talked about a lot. It wasn't, it wasn't a thing. I mean, I think that's more it. It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It's not her being open to it, I think, is what over the years, well, if she has zero problem with it, what problem do I really have?
Right.
It's the mental thing. It's your brain tells you,
And a lot of
don't
my
do that
girlfriends
in my generation.
Sure.
in the lifestyle were also very into it. So he knew that too. A lot of my
We did
friends.
say, well, where she was open about liking that, that's when you started finding out how many other women agree with her. And that's not even what women are afraid to talk about that too, because the bi thing is the bi male thing is so taboo that we were surprised when we found out, yeah, she's not alone. She's
Well,
not-
I don't care.
God-
If I'm all by myself, I'm on my own
well,
island.
no, but it's
I'm on
still
my own
nice to
island.
know that you're
I
not the
enjoy
only
it.
one
Yeah.
into that.
Right.
But there's other
right.
people on my island.
Right.
So
Right,
a
right.
lot of people on my island. So
So she had the advantage of getting into I mean, we started with her exploring her bi side.
Yeah.
And that was in 04. I didn't start exploring my bi side till 12. So we're that far into the lifestyle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
no, we need to.
It was that long that
What
before.
the process took so long for
No,
it-
I never in a million years. Like it was
I
never.
shocked her. Yeah.
Shock is not even the word. I never in a million years was never my intention. Like he's not bi. That's okay with me. I don't care. Like I want him to be him. I want him to enjoy who he is
And be happy.
And be happy. I enjoy it. He's open enough to let me go to parties to see it, to be involved in it, but he doesn't need to be.
Right.
One day, out of the blue, what did you say to me?
Well, and again, we had a couple friends throughout the lifestyle who would come out as being bi as well. And we did watch the little bit of turmoil he took amongst friends. Not a big deal, but still a group of friends that all of a sudden find this out. And, so he got a little bit of flack. And but still, there was that acceptance to it. We were good friends with them, and that kind of opened up a little bit more conversation. And finally, it was kind of like, I don't know, I'm one of those people, again, I'm analytical, and one of these days you're just kind of thinking about it and you realize what really is the hang up.
Right.
I really think it is more, again, I don't want to use the word upbringing because I wasn't brought up that way, but that's what time was. That's
Yeah,
what
the product of your generation.
product of the society.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just societal norms, and that was not a societal
It's a
norm.
very heterosexual
Right.
world, too,
And
so-
then, so it was kind of opening up to that, and then talking to her about, okay, maybe we can explore this. And I don't know, we did find someone online. And it really was, I mean, not gonna lie, first time was a little weird. It's more mental than anything. And it,
Of course.
but then after that, it's just gone. It's just
he
not
enjoyed
even-
it, and I could
it's-
see the enjoyment. And
it's
then,
not
like,
a
it was just a
thing.
progression.
Right.
I mean, there's still a growth process in there. I mean, we've talked about this in
Mm-hmm.
our area. I mean, coming here was very different for us. And
What, to our party?
Oh,
to
my God.
both to your party, but also I shouldn't say Florida, but a population center. You have to remember, we live in a state where Tampa probably has as many people as we have in our whole state.
Right.
So we don't have
Everybody
big city.
knows everybody.
We do have Boston. Boston's an hour and a half away, but Boston is not a swingers place at all.
No.
I mean, our closest legit on-premise swingers club is Providence,
Yeah,
which is
Providence.
2 hours away from us in Rhode Island. Other than that, we do house parties. We do all of that.
We fly to Florida, visit you.
I see that. Now, you've been here quite a number of times, have you not?
yeah,
How many
we've
times
been
have you
here.
been up this way?
Most
Or
of
down this way?
most of them
we've-
since we started.
Yeah, we've missed the last few, but
Winters are always a little
winters are
tougher for
tough.
us,
Yeah.
for us to travel. So those are the ones we've missed, is the winter. We started with you in Vegas last year.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the first event we found here. But anyways, what we were saying about my growth up there, it is still, there were some bi parties. We did find them. The place in Rhode Island had some. But they run them different than what you do. I mean, Rhode Island, they did them for a while, but they kept throwing them on Friday nights because they're not well attended, and of course, then that makes it even less well attended. Then nobody wants to sign up for the list because
They
half
don't
the
wanna be
people
outed.
signing up for it are straight.
Right.
Which we noticed as soon as we made a second profile for being a bi profile. We didn't want to take our original. I just didn't feel like being that topic of conversation amongst all these people, because this, again, we've been in the lifestyle for, by that time, 8 years. We knew a lot of people, and I just didn't want it. I wasn't necessarily hiding it, but wasn't advertising it either. And when we made the bi profile, that's when we found out almost everyone that contacted us had the male listed as straight.
And a lot of them we knew.
And that's when quite a few friends were like, yeah, we've already met and we've already played. So
They just
change the
didn't know that was on the
change the
table.
They didn't know
dynamic
that
the
was on
next
the
time.
table.
Yeah, but it's still up there. And I think it's because of maybe just conversation. Everything up there was a little more tame in the bi side. A lot of us joked about it, said it's almost more of a cock fetish.
Right.
You're not really into the guy. It's a cock fetish, and I will
lot of
admit,
oral
I'm
play.
that way too.
Lot
I mean,
of
I
oral
have
play, not
always
anal.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of oral,
much
not
more
anal.
oral, and that doesn't mean that anyone wasn't. It's just never talked about to find out.
Right.
And again, with having a
And not
smaller
open.
party like that, people don't feel as open to mention it. We did have a house party that was very well, and that was much more open about it. But still, the conversation never went there, and And again, I think people are just timid and slow. They start this way. And for me, my biggest change on the bi thing actually came, we had been doing it for a lot of years, but COVID, when you're kind of out of it, and all of us were kind of out of the lifestyle for that time, and other than some friends and stuff. And that's when I go into my analytical brain, and I go into the working on myself. And I always said that I'm not attracted to men. I'm not. I don't mind playing with a guy, but I'm not attracted to a man.
Right.
And it was really in thinking about it that that's not really. I say all the time, people use labels too much. We use male and female too much, and all of it, because if we just address each other as a person,
Right.
we're all a lot more alike than we think. And what I realized, it's not necessarily that I wouldn't be attracted to a man. I just haven't been attracted to a man. So, and once I realized, I'm like, well, that kind of changes things. And the fact, saying that I'm not attracted to men is a wrong statement. I just haven't been.
I'm not attracted to all women.
That's,
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
I'm not attracted to all men. So
And
it's
once
like,
you
Exactly.
it's
once
like,
you
it's
put
just
that
because
spin on it,
yeah.
you're like, well, then what the heck is the
What's the
difference? There is
difference?
no difference.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And so it was kind of going through COVID where we had this, and talking to her about it, where it kind of opened things up a little bit. And what got us here is we have a place at Caliente. We bought an RV lot there, and we have some friends that had a camper they weren't using. We're like, if we buy the lot, you want to put your camper there, and they went to Cali too. So now both of us go there much more often than we used to, because they don't have to drag the camper, and it's just set up and go. And we started looking for what might be in the area for a bi party.
And we're right here around the corner.
Right, and we were talking about it. I'm trying to remember exactly which order. I think we saw the parties here. But the next available thing that we could have done was actually Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So we never made it here. We went to Vegas.
Vegas. And then came here right after.
And Vegas was like,
Mind-blowing.
She got sick. She got sick
And
on
it
night
really
one.
wasn't. We had a lot of issues
I know
at the
you did.
hotel
And-
there,
but
it
mind-blowing.
still was a great
And we've
event.
talked
It was
about
a
this.
lot of fun.
We didn't even care.
Yeah.
98% of the
Mind-blowing.
people didn't care about any of what
Yeah,
you cared
nothing,
about.
nothing,
We
yeah,
know it was
exactly.
hard for you, but nobody else cared.
Right,
A few did,
right,
and
right.
let them have a problem,
Right,
whatever,
right.
because the rest of us don't
For
care.
us, it
And-
was such a eye-opening experience, because something we've never experienced
Well, and
in
she
20
missed
something
night-
years.
she missed night
I
one.
missed night one, I know, which is
So-
the best night.
Which was interesting because it was very
Have you guys made it to Jamaica yet?
No,
No.
that's going to be a tough one
It's
for
gonna be a
us
tough one
because
for
we're
us.
self-employed.
Right,
and that,
right. I got you.
So-
I remember that. We had that conversation
Right. So
before.
Vegas worked
It
out
crosses parties for
great.
us.
Right. But
We have 2 a year now.
I know. We're keeping an eye on it when it
it's
can.
definitely something.
But yeah, she missed the first night, and it was
was
funny.
one.
She had a really bad stomach bug, so we'd been down at the pool party on night one, and she's like, "I gotta go up to the room." I'm like, "All right, I'll go up with you. I'll go." And then she's like, "You should just go hang out." We knew a few people, Jacob and Regal, who was on the last show.
That's where we met them.
That's where we met them. We had met them online before that, so they were the one couple that we kind of knew of first time we met them. And she's like, you just go, feel free to hang out. And I go back down to the pool. Well, apparently I'm not used to your parties yet. I didn't know about the whole round robin thing. And when we went up to the room, well, that was between the 10 and 10:15 thing. So when I came back down to the pool party, I'm like, where the hell did everybody go? There's nobody left at the pool party. And I asked somebody, and they're like, oh, no, they're all up at the playroom's open now. Like, oh, okay. You walk into the playroom, and you're like, yeah, okay, this is not the parties we've been to before. This is
Not what we're used to.
We in being in the lifestyle for
A lot of years.
21 years, we've seen a lot
It's
of parties.
amazing. We've had
and
people come that have
nothing.
been in 30, and it's like,
It's so-
what just happened? Like after the round robin, they're like, what just happened? There's 80 people in this room, and now there's nobody in here. They're all in
And
the rooms.
they're all playing.
Every single one's playing.
Playing.
We've been to parties
It's
for 21
so
years.
Nothing
Never,
like this.
Never.
And
And
it's
so-
full blown everything from piles of guys, the anal,
Piles,
num-
girls,
what-
and
Two people
everybody-
standing in a corner
Two
and watching.
girls.
I mean,
Yeah.
it can be nothing.
And
I mean,
everybody's
we've seen
just
plenty
so
of people sit here on the
welcoming.
sofa all night.
And so like kind and happy and just welcoming. It's like such a good environment.
It's a great.
I think one of the things that you say
It doesn't
during-
matter your body size or your type or what you look like.
Because they're all general. Everything.
They're-
Yeah, we
we're
have
just
everything here.
people.
That was another
Yeah.
thing we saw here that's very
Which is
different
so
from up by
awesome.
us. That it was good to see just the more cross dressers, the more trans,
Yeah.
the more
You could just be
binary,
you.
whatever you want to be. Just where in our area it was much more just it's the standard. Couple
That's
and-
probably the
and-
one number thing that I try to do when I vet people, and we vet people, is sort of keep an eye on things, and sort of you get a feeling, you sort of know, and you sort of get an idea. And some people just are new to it and new to the whole thing, and it's over the top, but it's also they get an idea once they get here. It's like, wow, okay, I can be myself, and I'm not going to be judged, and come as
It's so important.
And I think the
So
more of those
important.
people you bring together, and then I think one of the things that you do that's so important when you talk about your other events is like, there's nobody here that isn't bi.
Right.
Maybe the women. Yeah, I know you've said this is more about the male, and so there's some straight females that are supporting the males, but for the most part, all the guys are bi. And you said
Or
like even when you go to
curious,
heat up,
right? Or
you didn't
curious.
want the employees in those rooms.
No,
You don't
I stood
because
at the door.
and that is what gives people we talked about it.
safety
Like
net.
I came to, I know you know this. My first ever party by myself was
so
here.
proud of
So
you.
again, we've been here. We've been doing this 21 years. We always play together. Not that we haven't played separately, but our thing is together. We like the group. We like the togetherness.
Yeah.
A
But
lot.
with people we've known, it's certainly, so it's not that we're opposed to it. But I haven't gone to a party myself, and I'm the anti, I'm not going to be the creepy single dude.
Right.
I'm not. We've had this talk. And it's funny because one of the things you talked about was you said the first time you came to a party, you made a point to yourself, I am going to talk to everybody.
Everybody.
And we've talked about this because I said in our area, in those parties, sometimes that's what the couples don't like.
Really?
Because every single guy at that party is going to talk to every couple because all they're doing is throwing darts at a wall. If they throw enough darts at enough couples, somebody's going to say yes. And so there is that balance of where you can do what you did, but other people can do what you did and it comes off wrong.
Interesting.
And I don't want to, I just don't even want to. I stay over here, which means nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Before I
gonna
lose
say?
this thought, because I lose thoughts very quickly, I wanted to thank you because your parties actually gave me, I had zero issues with him coming alone to this party. And it's nothing about trust because I 100% trust him.
right.
We can be, I 100% trust he can do whatever he wants to do. But the safety of going to a party as a bi man and knowing he's going to be safe.
Right.
I wouldn't have gone to another party.
Because
I wouldn't. I know even the parties we go to regular, I wouldn't go alone. Unless it was maybe going with a friend.
I'm just going to say the same thing. Like, I mean, my wife and I, our dynamic is I can go wherever I want and play with whoever I want, whenever I want. and same goes for her. Like we have the
Right.
same dynamic. But I only ever go to Ricky's parties by myself.
Yeah.
You know, I can go to secrets by myself on like a Tuesday night, and
It's a
sometimes
weird,
I do.
It's a weird vibe. Isn't
It's
it?
a
different
weird
vibe.
vibe, and I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done
hard
it
to navigate
once,
that.
and
I
I
have a
got
hard
very
time.
lucky. I actually ended up meeting a gay guy there, and we had a good time. But yeah, it's a weird vibe on a Tuesday, and I just feel weird going by myself. So
Yeah.
unless Ricky's doing a meet and greet there, like I'm probably not going to go by myself.
And what's cool about it is I would actually come to this party by myself.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things I
And
noticed.
I don't know that I ever
And there's
would
quite a
have.
number of females that do.
I
come.
think
Right.
it's part of
and
what
I don't know that I
made
ever
me-
would have prior.
It's part of what made me willing to come here by myself is that I do think it also, not only does it create a safe space for the guys, it creates a completely differently safe space for the girls.
It's a different vibe for them
When a
because
girl-
it's not about the girl.
when
And it
you-
just changes it.
When the
Yeah.
girls go to a regular party, they know every single guy there at some point tonight is going to probably talk
like
to
little
them. and all the-
ducklings following them around
exactly.
somewhere, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's not all. You don't, because again, it's the few that ruin it for the many. But there's
There are
enough
nights
of
I
those
almost
few
feel like
that
I
are
have to
annoying.
fight you for the men.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
That's one of the biggest complaints I get
Do
from
me.
the couple, from the female, the married ladies. Is like, I don't get like regular attention like at a regular event.
No,
you know?
you're not
I've
going
had
to,
people
right,
upset
right.
like
Oh, I
they
don't
don't
get-
like going.
I don't get upset because
they're
I get
get-
off on watching all
I
of
know,
it.
Right.
but
But-
they get upset because their husband's getting all the attention,
All the
and they're
attention.
not used to that. Like
Right,
they go to
yeah.
these parties
It's a
and
whole
they're the
different- right,
queen
right,
and they're the little,
right.
you know, the hot wife, and it's like for whatever reason they're having an issue now that their husband's getting that.
see, I
and
love
the ones
that.
that love it are the women like yourself.
It
I
really
love it.
puts almost
Because you
everybody
know
on an
what?
even field.
100%.
You know what? Because he doesn't. This is such a niche thing.
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't have that ability. Excuse me, to have that fun all the time.
Right.
So when we're in that atmosphere where he can enjoy it, I'll
That's
take
why
a step
people
back
travel.
and
Right.
We were, I mean, last weekend we
It's a
went to the
win-win.
event in Palm Springs.
yeah.
Another bi event, not yours, but another all bi event. And again, people were there from all over the country. I mean, most of them were from the California area, but a lot of people traveled. Because where else are you going to go?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a great niche. Yeah.
Well, we did it out of, I started out of necessity because I got tired of going to the parties
Right.
and not feeling comfortable. I just
Right.
didn't feel the connection, even though it just didn't work for me, and I didn't have that vibe, you know. And even today when I go to parties, sometimes I'm like, okay, you know, and then that's what it's about. It's about the couple. And normally you're very lucky to have your wife is that she's very supportive of you, and that's really what this is all about.
Right.
You know, because I've had girlfriends like, oh, go ahead and go to the bathhouse or go to that
Right.
party or go play and find whatever you need and come back later and tell me all about it, and they would be supportive in that way. But I enjoy, there was another element of that was when they went and held my hand.
That's
Yeah.
When they held my hand and that I'm getting pounded, I love it.
Yeah.
That's just freaking on the
Yeah.
other side
Well,
of
and
the
that's
world.
what we've
Looking-
always
looking
we've
in
always
your
been more
eyes.
Look in
together.
your eyes and
Yeah.
hold
Whisper
you.
in your ear.
Whisper in your ear.
Oh,
yeah.
this is so hot watching you get railed like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can live it afterwards. You know, when you're
Yeah.
doing your own thing together in your
Right.
own bedroom, back at home, you
Mm-hmm.
can talk about that again, live that experience. And that even fuels it more for me. And that's really what
Oh, 100%.
I think that's what a lot of people miss in general about the lifestyle is that everybody thinks it's all about sex, and
Yeah,
obviously
no,
that's
no.
a part of it. But it is so everyone we know from the lifestyle have been together longer. I mean, it is. I feel like the percentage of people that have longer marriages and lifestyle way higher than outside. I mean, we know more and more people that we're 35 years and we know people longer than us. It's not It's not uncommon at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from that communication.
100%. I was going
Yeah.
to say it. A lot
Because
of it.
once you can communicate about that,
and
you
having
can
something
Everything else
communicate
is
about
easy.
a lot of
and having
other
something
things.
fresh and new
Exactly.
and
Right,
more
right.
desirable and more
Exactly.
experimental and
It's like-
keeping that fire going.
Keeping the fire going.
And people
exactly.
people forget that you can have we've said we have had some really intense what's the word I'm looking for, intimate moments between the two of us when there was someone else there.
Yes,
And
yeah.
we were with a friend of ours couples and we joked about this. All of them noticed. I mean, we were literally sharing his cock, her and I. And there's just this connection, this eye thing that goes. It's almost like those two disappeared. It was a married couple,
right.
and it's almost like they disappeared. And all of a sudden we realized, both of them had figured out what was going on at one point, and we're both kind of sitting there. They were
They were
enjoying
watching
our
us.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and then you're like, oh, hey, hi.
Hey, you're there. We're just using your tools.
And people.
We
I
call
don't
that
think-
in the polyamorous world. We call that compersion.
Compersion?
Compersion. What that means is when you see your partner in pleasure or having and feeling joy or in pleasure, it gives you pleasure and joy, but it's a different kind of pleasure and joy.
Right.
And then when you experience it together and that connection that you guys experience, that's compersion.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
The whole poly thing is something we see more down here, which is
Yeah,
kind
a
of
lot more
interesting to
down
learn
here.
more
Sort
about.
of
And again,
poly,
I think it's population center type thing, but
A lot more
it's
down
been kind of
south.
cool to meet a bunch more of you down here. And
Yeah,
learn.
for sure.
Learn more
I don't know
about
what it is, but I personally, just from my own experience, and I'm sure Ricky might know this too, but SDC in particular has the highest number of subscribers, or I should say the highest concentration of subscribers on SDC are in Florida.
Really?
Yeah, because
We're on SDC because of Florida.
Yeah.
In our
Yeah.
area, SLS is the bigger one.
Yeah.
And when
So-
I do advertisement, SDC is the biggest.
Right.
It's the easiest ones to work with, really.
Oh, yeah,
too.
they're great.
They're easy to do stuff
Yep.
with. Cassidy is up there next, and then SLS is just a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah,
I've
they're
heard
real
that.
pain in the
And
butt.
see,
I've
we've been
heard
on
that.
SLS since almost the
I
beginning.
have
and
too, but
it
just
is
to work with them and behind the scenes.
that's
it's
what
been a
people have
nightmare.
said,
That's what I've
It's a
heard.
nightmare.
They have some kind of, I would say, almost ridiculous. Would you say
It's over the top.
standards?
Just
Yeah.
to the point, I just
Yeah.
don't even want to do.
That's
I'd
what
much
I've
rather
heard.
do
Yeah.
a Facebook than them. Really,
100%.
that's bad.
I know, right? Yeah.
So let's change gears a little bit. So in the 20 years or so that you've been in the lifestyle, have you guys ever felt judged or been dismissed because of your bisexuality? In a more or less bi-friendly environment, like any parties up north that you may have attended, or do you just say, you know what, we're not going to any parties anymore up back home. We're basically just going to go to Ricky's parties from now on.
No, we were still looking for parties. There's just
No,
not that many of them.
I mean, we did, like I said, when we first started, I had a second profile. So that was more of and we actually did put both profiles on an event.
Yeah.
So like we'd be going to an event and there's two of us go, and it was kind of funny to see, like she said, sometimes our friends would contact us, like they know this profile, but they don't know that one.
Yeah.
And so for quite a while, I wouldn't even know how many years, it wasn't hidden, but it wasn't advertised. Mm-hmm. So it kind of more sometimes came up. Again, who knows how many people we knew that were bi, and it never came up and it never happened because nobody ever talked about it. And it
Gets
was
dark. I say if it gets dark enough, everybody's bi.
exactly right. And
But you've never experienced anything negative?
No.
Really,
negative.
no, not in person. I mean, I think the thing that we still see the most is, and I'm sure you've all seen, is on profiles. The amount of profiles that say absolutely in big capital
Yeah,
letters.
no
Sorry.
bi males.
And I like looking at that because I always think about it, knowing how many of the straight males contacted
Oh,
us.
they're all
I'm
over
like,
the place.
yeah, you've been with so many bi men already, you don't even know it.
I have that with the
And-
resort right around the corner.
And I think that comes from that society too, of like that, what makes another male I mean, like you said earlier, you're not attracted to every woman. Mm-hmm. So in any situation, how many women are sitting there, oh, he's going to grab me whenever he can. Right. They don't think that. But a guy, for some reason, thinks we're in the same
Yeah,
what
really
makes you
weird.
think anyone's going to touch someone that, if anyone's touching you without knowing first, well, that's a problem. Forget about bi, straight, whatever. You're out the lifestyle, and you get booted fast, and you get blackballed real quick too in this lifestyle,
But it's
no,
so
I wouldn't
funny. But
say
then later
That's good.
on, they're sucking dick around the corner or
I
something,
know.
and they're doing stuff too. And it's like it just that kind of thing is what I really try to stay away from.
Right.
And that kind
Exactly.
of thing, the attitude and the when somebody's this macho person
Anti.
outside, and they're anti, and they're behind closed doors, so they're all over you.
And I do also respect the other side, is that, I mean, some guys don't want to be around that.
Oh,
And
exactly.
I can understand that. If it's a turn off to you, then why would you want to be? You wouldn't walk into any room at a swingers event. If something's going on in that room that's a turn off to you, regardless of what it is, leave. I mean, heck, we did we were at, actually it was in Vegas, when we went into one of the dungeon rooms, and something hit you right off the bat. We walked in and the dungeon scene's going on, and we understand how that works. You've got your safe words and all that. But she heard a woman say no a couple times. It was completely in the scene that she was playing that.
Because that wasn't their safe word.
But that
still,
no
triggers.
to her was
Yeah.
just that,
Triggering.
yep, I'm out.
And it was
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
It
Totally
was just
cool,
triggering.
but it was that thing for her. She's like, nope, that's a...
And that happens a lot of times when you mix the swinger lifestyle with,
With
the
the
BDSM,
BDSM.
and didn't know I had an event where I went up and I was just being real social, and I was like, hey, how you doing? I went to hug him, And I hugged her. I just put my arm sort of around her to give her a hello. Well, in the BDSM, that's a no-no. Like, you need to ask for the master's permission to even approach or talk to the sub. And I did. I crossed that line, and I was like, whoa, I was blown away because I didn't
Had
understand
no idea.
that.
Right.
And then I've had other
And you
situations.
want to be totally respectful.
And,
Right.
and the girl's in there, she's screaming, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's going at it and going at it, and then people are freaking out. What the
Right.
hell's going on
Right.
in there? But that's not our safe word, you know,
Right.
and that was their deal. That was their relationship they had,
Well,
and they didn't know that.
That was what we kind of lost interest in the bi party in Providence is that they actually, because that Friday party was not being attended well enough, they then merged it with their fetish night.
Yeah.
So now they have a Friday night that's bi/fetish.
Yeah.
Those two groups don't. I mean, BDSM doesn't even have to be swingers.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you're
you don't- yeah.
technically mixing them with vanillas. I mean, it's, and then you throw in the bi male thing. It's just like, so the safety that you create is not there. The comfort level of safety.
And it's just, it can just take one. You know, it's
all it takes,
hard. It's hard to describe the energy that's just, it's like a bad apple in there. I don't want to use that terminology, but sometimes you just feel that energy from that person that it just doesn't fit within what's going on here. And that's usually when we try to vent them and we see them. And I listen to people as people come in. And there's actually one member that's coming tonight that I have to sort of keep my eye on because I had a sort of a weird feeling about. But anyway,
I know who
that's
you're talking
that's sort of that idea. You know, you give somebody the opportunity to find their self and sort of get into here and do that, but then also realize that there may be a little bit of a, hey, you just don't really fit with this group. You know, there's some things here that doesn't really jive with it. It's
And
not what you
we've
think.
seen that happen so many times over the years. I mean, we've been talking to those newbie couples, and we have no problem with newbies. I mean, we've been in a long time. We have a lot of experience with that type of stuff, and it's funny how often, like we've said, you're sitting there talking to a couple, and after 5 minutes, you're like, we're both sitting here thinking, have you talked to him and him talked to, because
Yeah,
you two
they've
are on
not
two
talked to each
completely
other.
different pages, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go over here and watch the drama from over there, and not gonna be in the middle of
That's
this.
when you go into the, do you guys really know what this is about? You know, it's about
I
communication.
mean, we've been at parties where a woman was surprised at what she was brought to.
She had no
In what
idea.
world did you think that was going to go well for you?
No idea.
I saw that on a
You
cruise
brought
ship
your
one time.
girlfriend to
They
a-
went to a cruise ship,
Right.
and
Really?
her husband dragged her wife
Right, it
on
was a
there, and the
swinger
wife
cruise.
got there.
Right.
Yeah, swingers
Yeah.
cruise, and she's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is? What is this?" She's like, "Absolutely not," and turned around, and it was a big scene. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
What
they
part
didn't
of
talk
you
about
thinks
that.
that's gonna go
Yeah,
well?
yeah, just going to wing it and see, and just make her
See.
go with it. That's like
That tells
was
us
a-
right off the bat, you're
She's
so
stuck on a
wrong for the
cruise.
That's
lifestyle.
not going to be.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
other issues going on there in the lifestyle that brings it to the surface.
And those ones are usually the ones we over the years. I'm sure you guys have seen this too. Over the years, like there are certain couples that you meet and then you don't see again.
Yeah.
And there's been like a handful
Yeah,
of
there's
them.
definitely been them, and you think it probably just didn't work for them, and that's
Well, it was almost
or
like
they found a
attempted
different
to save their
place.
marriage. You know, let's
Well,
see if this
definitely
worked to save the marriage, and
Yeah,
then
I was
you
going to
realize
say I've met a couple couples in that
Exactly.
particular dynamic.
We've often
Exactly.
said for those people coming at it like we did, like for the married couple who then decides to take it a step further in their lifestyle, it's a magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm.
If your relationship is good, it's going to magnify that, and it's going to be good. If you got any problems, it's going to magnify them too, and that's what the communication is there for.
You're either
to
gonna
make
work
sure
on it.
Make it or break it.
that
Make it or
you've-
break it.
That you've talked
Exactly.
about this ahead of time.
and it's not easy. It's never easy. It's work. Feelings are going to get hurt. Jealousy's going to be there whether you like it or not. It's
that
just
went away very.
It went away quick
right.
for me. And
for
I was,
us, that
I
was the first handful.
Well, you know
of
what?
times.
You know
was
what
never
jealousy really
jealous.
is. You know what jealousy is? All jealousy is fear.
Yeah.
It's fear
that's,
of loss.
And that's
it.
really what it was. And I was so insecure because of my upbringing and everything that I had gone through in my life. And when you find somebody that completes you, and then you go out and do something like this, you put yourself out there and you allow. It's not even allow. Like we
I hate the word allow, but it is
It
what
is,
it is.
it
If
is.
you're in a relationship, she can do what she can do essentially because
he
I'm
allows
okay with
me.
it. And
Yeah, and I
so
allow him.
it
It's
a
sounds
mutual
like
understanding.
It's a mutual
Right.
understanding. But with that, there was a lot of fear that what if he found somebody else? What if he was young when he met me? What if
He sucks a better dick than me.
Right. Right.
That was further down the lifestyle
further
road.
down
but
the line.
Yeah.
Wait a
But
minute,
still,
how did you learn
so
that?
she didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about that at day one. Yeah.
Not
no,
at
yeah,
day
no,
one.
no.
2012 on, yes.
Now, and it's funny because as she's saying this,
But it was very hard for me. I was
hear you.
very
Yeah.
insecure because I had such didn't have anybody that I could rely on 100% until I met him.
But in her
So it was
saying this,
scary.
it's interesting too, because she is also one of the women, like many couples in the lifestyle, who it was more her idea.
Yeah, I pushed it.
I'm not the typical guy that was the, oh my God, I got to get two girls together, so this is how I'm going to make it happen.
And I would say to him, what guy doesn't want two women? And he's like, I don't. I'm like, oh my God, how do I get this guy
So
to
you
be-
wanted the second woman.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't get a chance to really talk about that. We talked about Kyle's bisexuality.
Right.
Why don't we talk about yours, Vicki?
Oh, you want to hear about my first experience?
Oh, yeah, please.
Oh, yeah. This is fun.
Other than the first time with a friend, like
not
I
the
said.
false start,
So
but,
the first lifestyle party.
Okay, so we're going into my first lifestyle party. Okay.
So we're in a nice open room setting, and
You just explain this, because this just goes beyond. You go ahead and explain
Yeah,
this one.
well, she, being new to the lifestyle,
How long were you in it at this point?
this was literally our first party.
Very, very first
Very
one.
first party.
Okay.
So first,
I had
other.
eaten out one girl in my life.
Talking to the microphone.
I had eaten out one girl in my life.
We had
wow.
we had met a couple for dinner. So we had signed up for the website. We're going to do this. We're going to go to a party, and we met one couple at dinner who was then going to go to that party with us.
Sure.
So that's literally the first things we ever did. And yeah, first girl she
We
goes
make
down
it to
on.
the open room,
and
there's this girl down
they're
there.
having a great time.
Having a great time. I'm meeting her out. I'm having a blast.
And that
Then-
girl full out squirted.
Which I
no
didn't
warning.
know was
and
possible.
that girl,
I
that
didn't
girl
know.
doesn't do that either. So it was a surprise
So
for
you
her.
made her squirt, and she had never done it before.
And she
you
didn't
didn't
even
know
know
that women could do that.
Well, we really neither
You're
did.
like,
I
what
mean,
the
it's
fuck
not
just
something we
happened?
did.
I
And
am
drowned.
covered. And when I say covered, I
Drowned
came
rat
up
hair.
hair.
God.
Wow.
I am dripping. I'm coming up.
Half
I'm
of us
choking.
are dying laughing. These two are mortified because she doesn't know what the heck
I don't
just
know
happened.
what
The other girl's
happened.
like, "Oh my God,
I'm
so sorry."
choking because it's all in my mouth. It's in my nose. It's on my hair. This girl is down between my legs. I mean, I'm down between her legs, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, that feels so good. Oh my God." I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Then because then after that she's like, "Well, if that's the norm, I'm not so sure."
I'm not so sure I want to be bi. I don't think I like that. No. I said, do girls do that? I'm like, So then fast forward, I don't know, maybe 6 months, and then we were at a party, and this guy goes, "I can make any woman squirt." And I'm like, "Can't make me squirt." Yeah. Once that button is pushed, that button is forever pushed.
Yes. And
Do not take the challenge, women. Wherever the camera is,
If you don't wanna do it,
take the challenge.
well, I was to say, do you know men can do that too?
Really?
So tonight you might actually witness
You
myself
mentioned that.
do that.
Had no clue. Because
Probably will happen.
Once it's on, man, you can't turn it off.
You can't. Like, for example, I don't know. This was actually I think that was the last time I seen you guys. So it was the next party after that. I don't remember exactly. I think it was Ricky, to be honest, unlocked that, and it's now it's like instantaneous, and it's every single time now.
It's as soon as you
No
get
kidding.
any
Yeah.
kind of exciting,
For
any
her.
kind
Yeah.
of, it's over
For you,
stimulation.
it seems to be in the high
stimulation.
areas. Like at home, it's not happening.
And
as much,
apparently,
and
it's very rare phenomenon for a man to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so you're in for a show tonight,
Oh,
honey.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite. It was quite not shocking, but I was like, when it happened, I was like,
Yeah, Ricky was like, "What the fuck just did happen?"
I was like, is that what I'm thinking it is? Like I've made women squirt, and I've been in that situation where somebody's been like, "No, but I know who can make you squirt. Come here, let me help you find him." You know, and they come and find me and go, "Ricky, come here, do that thing you do." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Just
the
do
power.
that thing you do."
We call it the power stance.
And I'm like, "You mean this?" And they're like, "Oh my God, what'd you fucking just do?"
I
you
know. I don't know
And
what the
then
guy
I'm
did,
like,
but
I
man-
tell the guy, "Come here, look, you're
Push a
doing this,
button.
you're doing that. Take your time. Feel what she's feeling. Anyway, that's a long story short. But for that experience to happen for a male, just is a different thing, but it's similar because obviously, we have the same anatomy. It's just
Yeah.
turned inside out type
Right,
of thing.
right,
So,
right.
really, truthfully, those same types of steps that you would take would happen, and it really, truthfully, happens the exact same way that a woman
kidding.
it happened with a male. And I was like, what the hell is that? I can't do it, but I know he definitely did it. I was like, do you fucking know what happened there? Yeah. And that definitely happened the next time too. Was like, holy shit, you know?
Wow.
So
and then we actually had a little get together at my house for just a pool party. We had to set up the garage. It was actually a really nice setup we had in there. We had the swing in there and some lights.
Lighting,
and I had the music going, and it was just very relaxing.
it was a test. I think it was a test at the time. I was like, let's see if this was really, let's put
see
this
if it
as a
works.
test.
Yeah, and we did. And like literally like within 5 minutes, boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was like a gusher.
And it's a feeling like you have to release.
Yes.
It's like you feel it and you're like, oh. And I could just do it myself. Like if I can't find anybody to do it, I just go,
Right.
and I release myself.
It could be instant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's instant. Yeah.
That's crazy. So that was your first time.
My first time ever eating a girl out, I got flooded and drowned. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
And then how long did it take for you to unlock your squirt abilities?
It was probably
It was at a party
sometime
soon.
later. Yeah.
Right.
Because after that happened, I was like, I really wasn't sure. Like I was traumatized by that event. I was like, I don't know that I.
Well, when you're not expecting,
I
not
just-
at all
I
what
just-
you were ready for, right?
That's just not what I expected. You know? Tasted good up until then, but not after. And
I remember the first time I made a woman squirt. I was in college, and I had girlfriends, and but I had made them orgasm, but never like that.
Yeah.
And I met this one girl. It was funny. I'll make this. It's a good story. But it's a quick story. I had my own radio show, and this girl, I'd never met her before, but she was a student at my school, and she said she came up and knocked on the door, and she says, I heard you on the radio, and you have a very sexy voice. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And she says, do you want to get together later? I'm like, fuck yeah, why wouldn't I? And the crazy thing is, I looked like shit. I was 100 pounds heavier. I had my hair was all long, my beard was all patchy, and I had cut off jean shorts and a Bob Marley t-shirt. And this girl wanted to fuck me in my studio, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna let her fuck me in this state. So I went home. I went to the best barber in town, Puerto Rican barber, best barber I'd ever experienced up to that point in my life. Gave me a straight edge shave and line up and made me look hot as fuck. I went in with a nice polo and some real shorts, not some cut off jeans. And I knock on her door, and she's like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, I'm the radio guy. And she's like, oh, my God, you clean up really nice. Oh, wow. Went into her room, and we spent the night, and it was a big puddle on the bed after I left. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So when you guys do go out and, you do have fun, what's your typical dynamic you like to enjoy? I know you said you like to play together, of course, but, when you're going out, you like to watch him with men and women and just like the group thing. Like, what's your favorite kind of like thing to do when you go out?
I think we're much more of a go with the flow kind of. Whatever happens. I think that's actually in our
That's always sort of
I think
what I
that's
felt from you
actually in our
guys.
profile. I think we said we like the term flow swap. It's
Yeah.
just
Flow swap.
where
Yeah.
it goes and what it goes. I mean, if we're
Yeah.
going again, if here it's a little different. Here we do tend to.
separate a little bit. Like
Or
he got, like
I think
don't
this
have
party's
an issue.
conducive
Like he
to
can
that.
just
Right.
Anywhere in the house. sort of
anywhere in the
roam,
house.
Right.
So like I'll just, if I don't see him, I'll just wander around and look for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that
what's
might
he
depend
doing
on
You
who
now?
find them under a pile
Exactly.
somewhere. or something,
But that might depend on
Or-
who you met.
Right.
Or
Or I'll sneak in that pile and have
Right.
fun with him.
Right.
So
But yeah, I mean, if it's usually we're looking for couples, that's the
Yeah.
point. We prefer the dynamic of that. The numbers work. It just works well, and,
And
it
it's
works
easy
better
here.
when everyone's
It
by.
works here too
Right.
at the parties because that pain of finding that couple, couple, is removed because you know
Easier.
that they're all here. And
You know everybody's on the same page.
Yeah,
right?
everybody's
Right.
looking for the same thing,
Right.
and that's why I think it
Which
works
is what's
so
great
well.
about the round robin. I mean, like I said,
Exactly.
the first night I came here, I mean, it is one of those things. We've been to enough
It's
parties.
intimidating at first, though. Isn't
It is at first because I said we've been to a lot of parties, and I said sometimes the icebreaker games are something that some places will do. They can work great, but they can also kill the mood
And they
of
can
an
be
event.
corny as
and they
hell.
can
Yeah.
take too long. Or we've been to places where now the event, the icebreaker game's going over there, but there's a whole group of people over here that can't even see what's going on, so now
Right.
they're left out of it.
Right.
And we're like, you're gonna go around the room and introduce everyone, and you're looking at this room with,
80
60
people,
to 80
yeah.
people
Yeah.
here. You're like, this is gonna take an hour. And you start, and of course, it's a little intimidating because all you do is ask everybody, hey, who are you? What are you here for? And you basically say, we're Kyle and Vicki, we're a bi couple, we're, bi-verse. She's condoms with, condoms, but non-latex for her. So those are the type of things people say, And when I came by myself, it was interesting because that is what ultimately gave me the comfort that night, not knowing that it was going. Came here, I knew a couple people, so you talk to a few people, but then you've run out of the people you know, and now I'm not the biggest one to go into a group of people. And but the round robin,
you already know them. You've talked to them
now
already.
there's the round robin going around, and there was one other guy that said this was his first time coming to a party alone. I'm like, sweet. Went to talk to him, and now we had something to talk about, so that made it easier for both of us.
Right.
That we both had this comfort level of, okay, now we don't have to feel
tell
weird.
people that there's some people I'm sure that have not, I mean, there's a lot of people that's been to the parties before, but just so you know, the first 2 hours we usually have is a sort of a meet and greet type of a situation.
Takes place
I have
right
everybody
here
to be
and-
here
yep.
8 to 10 o'clock, make sure, and at 10 o'clock we close the door. There's nobody else comes into the house. We make sure that everybody here is here, that everybody brings food, and we sort of hang out. It's real social. People do go play every once in a while, but it's real social. And then 10 o'clock we stop the music. We bring everybody into the living room, and it's really my way of also venting people, because if people aren't participating in the activity, that really shows me that they're not. I've had single guys go and try to dip down the hallway.
Right.
And it's like, I know who's here. Right. And it's like, you didn't say who you were and what you were doing. And I've gone up to them later on. I was like, what? Oh, I was like, well, that's part of the participation of this, because you're not going to be that freaky guy or that creepy guy walking around. Nobody knows who you are and what your deal is. And that's a problem for me. So if you don't want to participate in
makes
that,
people
I understand.
uncomfortable.
If I understand that you don't want to do that, but this is part of that, us getting to know you, and also the venting process, so that we know that you're a fit for our group. And then from there, usually people will, I tell this usually, but most often, always, people dress down, and from them there, they either hook up with somebody they want to, they cross somebody across the room, whatever, and they immediately go back to the back room, and in 10 minutes, the whole house, I mean, there's 80 people in this front room, and we've gone around, it takes us about 10, 15 minutes at the most, right?
It is quick.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
is quick.
because I move it along
move it
quick.
along.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you don't let
mean,
people-
I don't let people.
And surprisingly, you don't have to yell at too many people to keep it down. There's usually 2 or 3 times.
Every
like, hey,
once in a while,
hey,
and
you
usually
know.
somebody drinking or somebody
Well, of
new,
course,
or they
right,
want to be
right.
social, and
Right.
I get it.
Right, of
I
course.
get it.
It's gonna
And
happen.
They've
Yeah.
been to the party every
Yeah,
time,
that
and they've
too.
heard the same
We've heard
damn
this over,
spill
right.
and everything. But it's also a process, and I say this, it's also a psychological thing that happens with that person individually. And Jay shares this, is that for him, knowing that he had to share that sort of took him out of his shell, and he had to sort of engage, like you talked about. And I think that's also, and it's also a self-awareness of, well, what are we looking for, honey? What do we want?
Right.
What do we want to do? What are we really here for tonight? It sort of sets the precedent for, okay, yes, there's a big black cock, let's go for that. Or let's go, there's the girls over there, let's go for that. I just want to sit back and watch what's going on, whatever that might be.
And that's what we love. This place is so diverse. I mean, you had Champagne on a couple episodes ago, and you even talked about the fact that for a while she had becoming a Champagne for so long. We didn't know
Brandon.
Brandon,
Yeah.
God, didn't know. I mean, we had
Oh,
only
really?
met Champagne.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then one
yeah,
day
yeah.
I'm literally talking to Brandon.
Yep.
And someone mentioned that's Champagne. I'm like, I had no clue.
Exactly.
I mean, beard. Yeah, I mean,
Everything.
no clue.
Yes.
And so it's just
Brandon's amazing, because
that's a
it's-
cool dynamic
yeah,
to just be
absolutely.
exposed to. Whether you're into it or not doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It's about. I like that anyone can be comfortable. I mean,
that's all I want.
We were nudism.
yourself.
We got into nudism before we became swingers, and one of the things I liked about it was, to see the 300-pound woman walking around, or the first time we went, there's a guy with a colostomy bag. I'm like, that's not easy.
No.
To be able to throw yourself out there like that and just be okay with it, and you find that in these type of events, nudism as well. It's everybody.
We
and
all
there's
have
not a-
something.
right.
We all have something.
Yeah.
We all got something we don't like or do like or whatever.
I've been dealing with, I was probably 400. I used to be 400 pounds, so I have a lot of loose skin, and so that's a big thing, And it's like I still have that in the back of my head, but I still come and I still participate, because there are other people here that are in the same position. There's something about somebody that somebody doesn't like about themselves.
Right.
There's always somebody, something.
And
So-
that's
and
where
even to take that to another level, because I've lost a lot of weight recently, but even being thin, you can still be very,
exactly.
very insecure.
Oh, I know. There's a young lady that comes here pretty regularly, and she spends and she gets makeup. She is freaking amazing, and she's like so self-conscious that she's not. She
Right.
loves the group and everything and about the party, because she's not in the center of attention. But it's like she still feels like she's not pretty enough, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing how we all have that, and
Yeah.
we try to accept and that's what's so nice too about this is like, it's just such a wide age, and I have people ask me, well, who goes to you, what's the age group that goes to the party? I'm like, that's hard one to say, because we've had 30 years old all the way up to 60.
Yeah, so when I'm telling people about it, like in various Facebook groups that are bi only Facebook groups, or if someone hits me up and I just learn that they're bi, and I tell them, well, you got to come to a bi party, and they ask me, well, what's the demographic? And I said, honestly, it's a little bit of everything.
I said, go to the
There's
grocery
young
store.
people, there's older people,
Yeah.
there's black people, there's white people, there's everybody.
It's everybody.
And I said, you basically, it's kind of like
It's the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
exactly,
Yeah. They just a
exactly.
different-
They're real down to earth people.
I think that's one of the things when I talked about like just reevaluating myself like during COVID and stuff about the bi thing. I think that's also when I was realizing the term pansexual came up, and I think that is much more of we're listed as bi, but that probably is a more
Yeah,
because
we're more pansexual.
it's not about the gender, but also it's not about the gender, but we've also realized it's not about it's about the connection between the person.
I don't
Older,
care what
younger,
you look like.
heavier,
Yeah.
smaller. I mean, we all come into this and we all like what we like, but then you realize if you step outside of what you like or what you think you like, you find out you like a lot more. I mean, she was shocked at
I don't have a type.
this party last weekend.
I don't have a type.
The party
I'm
last
attracted to
weekend, there
you
was a woman having her
as a
70th
person.
birthday that day, and I don't know what the hell happened. She walked out of a playroom, and we ended up like this and kissing, and next thing you know, it's her 70th birthday, but
wow.
she was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, all the ladies
She
are great.
She didn't look 70.
yeah.
I'm like,
I want to look that good
Whatever.
70.
yeah.
So just a couple more questions here because we're getting pretty close to finishing up.
Yeah.
But so what's something that you guys wish that more people understood about bisexuality, or just the bi parties, or just being an open-minded in a swinger environment?
I think what I'd like to see more in the lifestyle in general is just more openness to it. I mean, it is, like I say, at other parties, but I mean, heck, we were at a place where on the door it says no bi male play. And I kind of get that, because I do feel like it is better to have some environments for that. But it needs to get to a point where it's more acceptable. But it also goes the same as far as swinging in general. Like, if you're single, you can go to work on Monday and talk about going to the bar and you just hooked up with two girls or two guys or whatever it was, or a single woman can talk about that. But as a married couple, whoa, wait a minute. You had sex with other people?
Right.
But you could have said you ran 4 girls this weekend and nobody's going to bat an eye about that.
Right.
But we hook up with one couple and wait, you let her do, or he did. I mean, it is kind of weird how that's why I think a lot of
I had
couples
someone get in my
don't
car
talk
one
about it.
time, and they saw that there was a box of condoms, and they knew I was in a relationship. And they looked at me like, do we need to have, like they thought I was cheating.
Right.
They thought I
And
was
then what do you
cheating.
say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I basically said, look, I said, we're in an open relationship. And that's basically what I had to do. And I mean, not that they would really understand, but I think it really wasn't their business, but I think it was a little bit more of a, I think an eye-opener for them to realize that just because that was the box of condoms was there doesn't mean that necessarily I was out cheating.
Doing anything wrong.
Doing
Right,
anything
right,
wrong,
right.
right. I had consent by my significant other to be there and playing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's exactly, it's all in what people agree with. If it's consensual, then hey,
I just
more
think
power
people are
to you.
missing out on so much if they would just.
Oh, I know. Let go.
Well,
Let
some
go,
are. I mean,
open up.
some this would be the wrong thing for.
Well, no,
mean,
but I meant in
yes.
general, if they would just let go of their own
A lot of hang-ups. in
hang-ups and
general.
insecurities and just allow themselves to enjoy.
Yeah.
A lot of that has
Because-
to do, though, they want to be like the Joneses, or they want to be,
Right.
they think they should be like this or like that and not be themselves. And I think that's a lot of what.
I mean, you mentioned when we were talking about doing this. I mean, you obviously asked if we wanted to do different names, or you said you could blur our faces. And I mean, in all honesty, this is the first time we have done.
Yeah,
this
will be the
I
first
mean,
time we're out
we
there
have-
openly.
We have friends that know. We have, there are people know, but those were chosen. I mean, you have the right relationship with someone where it comes up. Because personally, I'm one of those. I feel like if I'm telling someone in a way, it's kind of bragging, and I'm not a braggy person.
Right.
Most people think if this is what you're telling them about, like, why are you telling me this?
Right, right.
If there isn't something in our conversation or our relationship that made us think that this is a topic of conversation we can have, then why would I have it with
Right,
you? It's
right.
not that I'm hiding it from you. If
no
I
reason
feel
for it
like
to
you
come
would,
up.
if I feel like it would offend you or bother you, why in the world would I bring it up with you? I
Right.
don't.
Or it could
Right.
open a conversation that they're looking for that information.
If it
or
is, right,
it spawns
absolutely.
that relationship that you don't know a little bit more
But
about
we
that.
do.
Yeah.
But it is something. I mean, we are self-employed, and it is the type of thing you have to think about. This is the type of
Right.
thing that certain people could see and could become a thing, and
Right.
and it's dumb that it could be.
I mean,
you
and
know?
realistically, I mean, the only people that are going to really watch this are people that are in the lifestyle.
Exactly.
And
Right,
on top of
but-
that, bi people.
Exactly.
So
Right.
another niche
Yep.
group. So
Exactly.
a niche
Right.
group of a niche group.
And people's like, oh, what if I see somebody at the party that I know? I'm like, well, they
They're
probably
there.
did it, too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
And you know, the whole point the whole reason Ricky approached me to do this podcast was because we want to help people like y'all tell their
Well,
story.
and I
And
think-
that's what I said to him. I
And
said, I think
everybody's
it's
so different,
important
right.
to be able to help other people that are starting out because there is we have a lot of years of experience and a lot of
And we never really hit it, but we've watched plenty of people have problems, and we've watched plenty of people do it perfectly. You know, I mean, so
right.
it's
There's
you know,
a lot of
there is
experiences that we could share that could
There is
help.
a lot, and
100%.
That could
and
maybe
everybody's got to talk.
and this
not
is
make
exactly
the
what
same.
this is.
And I don't know
things.
if I don't know if Regal told you, but when she went to BFF last weekend, she said someone approached her,
Yeah.
watched her episode, and she told me that person's perspective about whatever it was changed because of Regal.
Hers
Yeah,
was-
it
hers
was
was a
really
good one.
cool.
So
That's
Ricky,
where-
we have
See, and
caused we
it's-
have
it's-
made an effect on someone.
You know,
Yep,
and
it was really
and
cool to
that
see
was
that.
my story, and I don't know. I know you heard a little bit about mine, but you know, someone asked me, "What would you want to do if you did?" I want to travel the world and help change people's lives.
Right.
And it's not about changing hundreds and hundreds of people's lives. It's just one person.
Yeah.
And if there's just one person that we can affect with just sharing our experience, strength, and hope, that maybe it lawns them into that they're not alone. And
Exactly.
you're not in the struggling trying to do this by
and
yourself.
for the lifestyle, which for the most part I would say is very non-judgmental.
Yes.
Unless
For the
you're
most part, yeah.
unless you're talking about my males,
yes.
which is really kind of odd. I mean, people don't
Yeah.
talk much about money or whatever. Or politics doesn't even come into it a lot.
Yeah,
People
no.
kind of agree that okay, you're here. Let's not even talk about it.
Right.
And
Time and place.
And
And
don't
this is
care.
not the time or place.
No, and so that's not an issue. But
Yeah,
by
yeah.
guy, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, yeah.
So these safe environments is what. And we were at the BFF. I didn't mention the name because I didn't know if you wanted to, but that's where
Yeah,
we
we
were
were.
last weekend.
Yeah.
And again, similar to this. I mean, it different but similar, and just to have that freedom where there's no question. You don't have to worry about is anyone going to be weird. It changes everything. It changes the entire, from all the other events we go to, once everybody's on that page, it changes it for everyone. And like I
Right.
said, I think it changes it for the women in a very cool way.
Yeah.
Because women do have to wear. I mean, at swinger parties, you are going to have the guys that are being too aggressive or too pushy. A lot of them get weeded out, but it doesn't mean she didn't have to put up with it.
Right.
Right.
And that's not cool. And that's one of the other things we find about the lifestyle is everybody looks out for everybody. I know that if I was in another room, it doesn't even matter if you know her.
Right,
If
right,
you
right,
saw
right.
something happening that she doesn't look comfortable, there are going to be multiple women or men that are going to go over and help them out of that situation.
Yeah.
And most of them will do it in the coolest way ever. If it's on a dance floor, some girl is going to scoot right in between them, and the next thing you know, these two are dancing over there. That guy's all by himself in the middle of the
Yeah.
floor.
Right.
And that's the way it should happen. Because if it has to be somebody getting in and saying something, well, now you got a weird drama thing and whatever. And
That's usually what happens at regular clubs and regular.
Exactly.
people
Right,
really do
right.
look out for each other, though. And I think
Yeah.
it's a much safer environment than people would imagine.
100%. Now I feel like we could keep going.
I
Yeah,
know.
right?
I was
I
going
But,
to say, what's
I
our
know.
time
We
frame?
need- yeah,
we got a
so-
party. We got a party
We got a
tonight.
We got a party tonight.
Well, you had two people this time. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's good. You guys got good energy.
Yeah.
And I
Good
told
deal.
you I talked a lot, right?
That's all right.
And you know, Ricky and I have considered doing like a panel kind of thing. And
Yeah.
So you know, maybe we'll have you guys on for
Yeah.
something like that.
That'd be
so,
fun.
But before we wrap up, you know, so one final word or one thing from each of you. Any final words of encouragement for any other bi males, bi couples, bi females that might be out there, or even bi triads? I mean, it could be anybody. But anybody out there, do you have any words of encouragement for anybody out there that might be just starting out or just starting to explore or anything like that, or maybe even some shout outs?
I would say search out something like this. Find a bi event, whether it's here or they do go around the country. There's other ones too. I mean, and travel to it. Go to it if you have to, because once you've been here, it will make you feel better at other places.
Yeah.
It will. I do agree with what many people have said. This does kind of ruin other parties, but not that you're not going to have fun at your old places too.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like you're never going to go back. But there's a reason we've been coming down here almost every month. I mean, we're from New Hampshire,
Yeah,
and this
1,000 miles.
And
We-
it's just this one
we-
little party just tonight. Yeah.
we
So-
missed 3 events over winter last year and now this year. So that's it. We've been every one
Yeah,
since.
yeah,
and it just,
and we'll
it's-
see you the rest of the
and,
year. Every
and
month.
you know, people forget it's really not that expensive to come down to. Like going out to Palm Springs last weekend was not really that expensive. Flights are not what they used to be. it was a package deal for the hotel. I mean, all in all, it was not an expensive weekend. So it's not like you got to have a lot of money to travel here. We do everything on the super cheap. I don't like spending money, so we do things cheap.
What's the cost of happiness, though? You know.
That's
Well, no,
it.
that's what I.
And you
well,
can't
and
can't
again,
take it with you.
It's
And
right.
again, during COVID, that was one of the things that we talked about a bunch of people with jobs were changing and stuff. It's like that's when you took time to. Well, did you need this house, or maybe
Right.
you only needed this house?
Yeah,
Because if
battery
you buy
rate.
this house, you have more money to spend over here and do
Right.
this and do that, or travel, or that's why we got the place at Caliente, because it works for our schedule. We have a place to go. We travel with a bag this big. We don't need to bring anything with us, and these trips are easy for us. But so my one would say to for the bi males, find a bi event. And if women are uncomfortable, I think you'd be more comfortable here anyways. But look around. You just did the one in Pittsburgh. We were bummed we couldn't do that because
Yeah,
we were
Pittsburgh
at
was
BFF.
fun. Yeah, we were there last
you planned it the
weekend.
same weekend as BFF, though. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't do that. That was sort of a
No, I
thing
know,
they
yeah.
did there. And it was Pride weekend.
because we definitely
too,
would have
and some
done
other
that.
things.
We would have
So,
done
yeah,
that
was
because we
fun.
met some of the people from the body shop at
Body
Vegas
Shop's a
last
great
year.
place.
Yeah,
Great
Right.
spot up there.
Yep.
The Body
So
Shop.
we
They're
would've
very
loved to have-
open-minded. Very good.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Great people.
Yep.
So where can people locate you? You know, you mentioned your SLS SDC profile. So what's your handle on there?
Well, no, we'll have to give it to you because they're different on all of them.
Oh, you changed
I'll
them?
give it to you. No.
Oh.
No,
Well,
but he
just
can
buy
put them on the
events. I guess on buy events.
Buy
Yeah,
event-
what's your buy
buy
events
events? I think we're fun times 2x2, but I wouldn't swear
Yeah, I
to
think
it.
so.
I think it is.
I could look
And then SLS and SDC might be the same. One of them is Southern New Hampshire couples. So
Yeah,
like
I remember.
say,
I think I saw one. It was
SLS is
it's
Southern New Hampshire couple.
It's NHFL couple.
That's
That's
a
SDC.
CC.
Okay,
SDC.
yes. So there you go. NHFL couple is a SDC. Southern New Hampshire couple, Southern NH couple
Vanilla
is
couple.
SLS.
Vanilla.
And then on Buy Events is Fun Times 2x2.
Yeah.
And I think that's by BI, not BY.
I wanted to give a shout out to Regal. She has made it like so easy for me to become a part of this group. She is like Wonder Woman.
You
in
guys
the
have a lot of
sense-
similar past, too.
She's like a Wonder Woman in the sense like she has so much positive energy and what's the word I'm looking for?
Aura. She has like
She's
an
a
energy.
positive aura and a lot of self-esteem. Even if she doesn't think she has that positive self-esteem, she exudes positive
Yes.
self-esteem.
She oozes it.
Oozes
Charisma.
it, charisma.
Yeah.
And since I've met her, she's really had a positive impact. So I've just wanted to
That's
shout out to Regal.
That's another good point for coming to an event.
I've met really cool people.
We
And she's,
uplift each other.
yeah,
If you
and
can-
she's one of those people that I don't think I've told enough, and I wanted to just give her a shout out.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did
And
really
Jacob
good.
too. Love you, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
let's definitely do another follow-up
I
sometime.
would love that.
Absolutely.
that'd
This
be
was
fun.
actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Good deal.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank
We're
you.
gonna have a good time tonight too.
We
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, so Ricky, did you want to mention anything before we wrap
Yeah, a
up
couple
here?
things. One is that obviously we got the 4th of July party tonight. It's on the 5th tonight. That's where I'm wearing my little my shirt here. Is a little bit of color going on. But I think tonight's going to be really an event. We got about 75 or so signed up tonight. I don't know if that's going to be about right. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. But we do have a couple things announcements. One is that we do have some cancellations for bye week in October, and that if people want to book for that, they need to go ahead and call Tom's Trips or call me, give me an email, and set you up right away. And we'll see about getting your room situated at all different levels. And then we're also doing the full takeover in October. And then we're going to do a small meet and greet. I guess it's Secrets on
Yes,
the 15th.
15th
coming
of
up.
July.
And then we still have a couple other events lined up. Halloween's coming up. We got some other events.
Yep.
It's all on the events
If I remember
page and
correctly, the
stuff.
dates are August 16th, September 20th, November 1st,
Yep.
November 29th, and December 27th.
He's looking at the schedule all down there. So,
No,
and the
he's
other
right. That we'll be at the next 3. We
Yep.
can't do November.
And I'm
December.
really, really struggling. I know I've been saying this, and I'm just really having a hard time finding a facility. I want to find a hotel that we can do a weekend takeover, some type of thing here in Florida. And we want to do something like on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if anybody's out there and you've got some contacts, maybe somebody that's got a hotel or something like that is safe, there's sort of some really stipulation stuff that I have that sort of, really need to fit within what we're doing, because obviously we're LGBT friendly.
Right.
And then we're also, adult swinger type of thing. So some of those things are a little bit different. And of course, we don't want to be, it's huge. I don't want a big old huge hotel or something like that. Something small, intimate.
Yeah.
And if somebody knows something anywhere in Central Florida area, I think it'd be great. Because I think doing something again like we did Vegas, the body shop, those guys up there are really supportive of us coming down and doing anything here. We want to do something down here. So, we're really, really strongly looking for something like that. So I really want to try to put that out to the community.
And
For
venues
sure.
are always a hard thing. That's one of the things we said. Like
That
you said,
is the biggest
where
problem
you said
I have.
Vegas
And
was
finding
hard.
this house has been amazing.
Right.
I want to find something closer in Orlando, but I've been struggling. It's just not something that, you put that out there.
I think that's one of the things the community needs to be more aware of, is to whatever party you go to, respect the venue.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if that venue is a hole in the wall piece of shit.
Respect
They let us
it.
be here.
Right.
We
Yeah.
can't be everywhere, and most places don't want us.
Right.
And
Respect
the
it.
attitude that you're bringing money and we're paying money, so no.
And we
They'll-
just
they
leave
can
it.
kick
We
you
try
out
to.
and they'll make
That's why
money.
we keep
Yeah.
it the best we have.
Yeah.
We've been here for a couple of years, and
We've
the
seen
stock is
more
great,
clubs
so-
go because they lose a venue, and you got to treat the venue. Everybody needs to treat a venue right.
Well, everyone, that wraps up this episode of the Live Life Between the Lines podcast. Be sure you smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all new content being released. Head over to buyevents.com, that's buy-events.com, to sign up for a profile and get the 411 for all Buy Events news.
Come and join us.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode, which will be released shortly. And if you want to volunteer your story and be on the show, send Ricky an email at ricky@buyevents.com. We look forward to seeing you at our next Buy Events party or at one of the spring or fall Buy Weeks at Hedonism. Maybe we'll even see you at one of my Metamore meet and greet shows. Until next time, everybody, I'm Mr. J.
And I'm Tricky Rick.
Stay positive and love your life.
Woo. See ya.
right.
Love you. Peace.